Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today, we're going to talk about Starfield Exploration. One thing that I did miss in the Starfield Direct video, which is like 40 minutes long, was a 2-second little clip where when he's showing that he's going to land at New Atlantis and they select the landing icon for New Atlantis. Prior to that, he clicks on a random spot on the planet and it says that you can land there. So I'm going to go ahead and say you can land anywhere you want on this planet and freely explore. So that's my question asked, or that's my question answered, which obviously opens up a lot for exploration in this game and completely invalidates what I was explaining about the whole fish tank idea about having predetermined landing zones and the developer being able to go in and kind of make impassable terrain for you to just not leave kind of a pre-designated zone. So it really does seem like you can land wherever you want on these planets, do whatever you want, and leave. Of course, you know, you just end up in space, and then of course you can land again on the planet. Granted, you probably have to go through a couple loading screens, which to me is not a super big deal. So obviously a lot of this video, including the background of this video, it's going to be using the Starfield Direct footage, because obviously we have very limited resources as to what we're being shown of this game. We have like a gameplay trailer and then of course the Starfield Direct, and then a couple interviews. But one thing that I'm really paying attention to is the exploration of this game, because that inhibits you to go outside of the path of the story, where the developer is driving you on this path and allows you to go do your own thing if you want to. And that adds to the scope of the game. And that to me is something that's really important. Not saying that I don't care about stories. Obviously, I'm going to complete the story, but being able to, have end game content, or just being able to freely explore and find random pieces of tech or downed ships is something that I think is really going to add to building communities in this game. Albeit it is a single player game, it'll still allow you to share what you found in different parts of planets. Maybe people haven't necessarily been to that part of the planet before, but you found something cool. Stuff like that. And then when they're showcasing when they're scanning the fauna or the life forms on these different planets, it reminds me a lot of the No Man's Sky visor. I do like the scanning in this a little bit more. It's more visually appealing. It gives a little more information, I feel like. It's just better aesthetically. It looks cleaner, it looks more high tech. While you're exploring, it also looks like you can come across different landmarks, which I find really cool. Something that I would love to come across, which they show in the Starfield Direct, is they come across like an abandoned mine. Well, I think it'd be cool to come across like an abandoned like research facility or something like that, and kind of come across like maybe some tech that you can salvage, or maybe there's like a really cool legendary weapon there, or something that you can put onto your ship, that would differentiate how your ship looks or operates in comparison to someone else's, right? And then you can then share what you found with your community that you're a part of. And if people want that, they can of course visit that planet, visit that coordinate, and of course hopefully find the same thing you found. And then of course, adding on to that exploration, you of course can have your crewmates or companions, and you can I don't know what the specified amount is of how many you can bring with you while exploring. It didn't really specify in the Starfield Direct video, and I couldn't find anything else either regarding that. But it would be really cool if you could bring more than one, and then perhaps, you know, they start to banter a little bit. And then of course that kind of segues us into who are the known companions so far. So one thing we know we're going to come across is kind of this Constellation group, which is a forgotten group or kind of a secret group that still is operating kind of in the, not really the shadows, but like kind of the background. And you know, they're looking for like these artifacts, and they're still you know, exploring what's out there. Why they're operating in secrecy, we don't know yet. I guess we'll find out through the story. But the companions that they shared with us so far that are in that group is Sarah Morgan, Mateo, Noel, and Walter, who reminds me a lot of Elon Musk, a successful business guy that's kind of operating the whole thing. And then of course you have some other ones that they shared with us, Vlad, who's an ex-pirate, Sam Coe, who's the space cowboy, and Baron. I'd love to see being able to bring you know, more than one of these guys on your adventure, you know, while you're not on your ship, but like actually walking around and exploring and seeing if they banter or if they have any sort of traits that might help you discover something. In addition to having you know, your companions you know, work with you on your explorations or missions, you can also assign them to your outposts, which is pretty cool. You know, you get to build an outpost almost anywhere you want on the planet, or any planet. And based off of their traits and kind of the mixture of people that you have in there, it affects the efficiency and how well that outpost is run, which I find pretty cool. So you have to like kind of pick and choose who you want as your crewmates on your ship, pick and choose who you want who, you know, working in the background in your outpost to maybe boost the efficiency of what's, you know, being manufactured or mined at your outpost. And one thing that they did bring up about your outpost, which does have to do with exploration, is you can come across different plants and animals you know, that you can get resources off of. And I think that that's something that's really cool, because usually it's just plants in these types of games. You know, you just grow some plants in like some sort of greenhouse type thing, and you're good to go, right? But having animals being able to produce resources in these different or in Starfield, I think is a really cool touch. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just like manure or something. But being able to, I guess, tame these creatures and use them in your outpost, I think is a really cool touch. Brings more life to what you're doing. And maybe there's, you know, some sort of crewmate who's good with working with animals, for example, right? So, you know, that's something that kind of got my mind going a little bit with the different possibilities and designs that people could do with their outposts. One more thing that I find really enticing is derelict ships, you know, just warping into a system and then just seeing this ghostly, almost not, you know, not in this all sense of, you know, you can see through it, but just this haunting abandoned derelict ship, and you don't know what's on it. So of course you dock, and its gravitational drives are failing, but they still work at times, and so you're dealing with fluctuating gravity, hostile creatures, and maybe like a very large hostile creature, you know, because there is, well, it is known that there is hostile alien creatures in this game. And I think it would be really cool, you know, if you're in this derelict ship and then out comes this alien that just wants to do nothing but eat you, you know, or kill you out of a vent, and it like scares the heck out of you. It just adds like kind of this you know, horror game type vibe. I think something like that would be really interesting and a cool new vibe to throw into a game like this, because when you really think about it, if you're docking onto an unknown ship and it's messed up, its gravitational drive is flickering on and off, that's a scary thing to go through. And then just seeing the crew like kind of dead and floating around, you know, like you know, that's a scary thing. So to add kind of, you know, a horror element would be something that I would look forward to and embrace. And I would probably go hunting for derelict ships. Because if you guys have seen any videos of mine in like Ark, you know that it's really easy to get me to jump, especially if I turn around and there's just like something massive just right behind me. I will scream loudly, and it's funny. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up with the ability to land anywhere you want on these planets, and, you know, scanning fauna, scanning life forms, being able to build wherever you want. You know, maybe there's like different cave systems and whatnot, different alien species that you have to kind of deal with. I think this game, in terms of its exploration, it just works. It's everything that you want out of the games that are already kind of playable and out right now, but they have very, like, it's one thing or another, right? And I feel like Bethesda and Starfield are gathering all those things and saying, well, no one game has all of this, so let's just bring all of this in, right? And it gives you what you want and out of exploration. And it's just really cool, because this also opens up a lot of room for DLC. There's an unlimited amount of DLC that you can do with this. But this game does seem, you know, very refreshing and exciting. And I'd love to know what you guys are most excited for exploring down below. And if you enjoyed this video, I will be making more Starfield videos, especially when the game comes out. There will be lots of Starfield content. So if you like this video, please subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Take it easy.